how can understanding employee relationships in small business develop a community within a community? I've worked as a buyer and a manager in a small independent business here in Helena since 2001 and been involved in independent small business for the last 20 years. During all of those years, small business has been something that has been a mentor to me. It's been a priority in my life. It's small business that has shaped my perspective, my goals, the relationships that I've forged with my community and my community of friends and family. Local small business has been a catalyst for countless opportunities for me personally, advancement in my professional career, certainly my own personal and emotional development. While I entered into the outdoor business industry from a more non-business perspective, I was involved in being outside and working for a number of different entities, and also using products that are designed for being outside. It took time for me to build up a general interest in the structure and the principles of business itself, considering this wasn't specifically my education and it wasn't specifically my background. The vagaries of markets and brands and building a structured and well-designed business was something that was brought to me and was a part of my education from the relationships I developed in my community of friends and family, mentors, and lifelong professional colleagues over time. It is this community of individuals that shapes my forward progress, and it urges me every day to reflect on my past. I think about where I live and where I work every day, as many of you probably do. It never escapes my conscience. It provides me with the ultimate humility, because it is this place, this community, that provides me with friendship, sustenance, motivation, love, fulfillment. Boy, you're probably asking yourself, this doesn't sound like the intro to a business management course or a motivational sales seminar, perhaps, reinforcing traditional business principles. It's not. It's not. No doubt the tried and true business tenets of supply and demand markets and remain powerful drivers to this day and every day in commerce. Yet, I take a perspective that the reality of everyday business incorporates a litany of other variables to include philosophy, emotion, personal connection, trust. I don't think it's unrealistic to view the variables of today's business world and the historic market trends that are increasing profits at historic levels every day for large corporations. They're significant and measurable chapters, but they're not the entire story, in my opinion. There is a narrative that runs parallel to the objective, measurable principles of commerce, and that narrative is the human element. And I think on many levels today, we have seen that in many different situations. I experience a business climate where neighbors share conversation on a daily basis about kids, epic travels to far-flung places, or the majesty of commuting to work every day by trail, by forest. Maybe this looks familiar to you. Robert Cohen, who was the vice president of global retail for Patagonia, which many of you might be familiar with, said, that rich customer relationship that you really want is, we're like you. We care about the same things you do. Let's do things together. How does that sound? Sounds pretty good to me. But what is that reality? I look at the reality of my business that I'm involved in every day and many other businesses that I see in our community every day as a community. It's a neighborhood. It's a being. It's complicated, has emotions, inspires, and it achieves. It does all of this through one specific thing. And it does this through its employees, the individuals that are involved with their communities every day. Humans with personalities, goals, passions, and lives outside of the work environment, right? Even though we spend the majority of our day at work, we have lives. We have other places that we want to be. We have other things that are important to us, that are priorities in our own lives. Can you imagine this reality? Is this the reality in your workplace? Is this something that is talked about in your workplace? Is it something that's comfortable to talk about in your workplace? It is something that is a priority in our workplace here. And it's a pleasure to be here today to chat about small independent business, and one that I know intimately well. We've been in business for 40 years in Helena, and let me tell you, a lot has changed in 40 years. I've changed a lot in 40 years. I'm a little over 40 years old. We've gone from clipboards and pencils and paper to iMacs and scanners and chip credit cards. The technology is unbelievable. The world moves at an incredibly fast pace, and that's okay. It's progress. It allows us to have an enormously diverse perspective on this fabulous globe that we live on. The internet has blown up every door possible on this amazing, diverse planet. Possibilities are endless. It's been quite a journey, that's for sure. I've been a small part of our business heritage and history, and the journey's been somewhat winding, unmarked. The road posts are sometimes hard to find. Have you ever had that experience? Maybe you had it locally where you have favorite trails, you become accustomed to things. It's where you can find peace, tranquility, balance. And then occasionally you venture out into a place you haven't been before and you don't know why. But you want to go and check it out, but it's a little unfamiliar. There's no signposts. But you do it anyways, and it becomes challenging. I've felt that way many times, and I felt this way about technology and how technology affects our business and the world around us. We relate to each other on so many different levels nowadays. Technology is brilliance. Phone, email, text, Instagram, YouTube, Path, the list goes on. In our business, our projects have reached unimaginable levels of innovation, from carbon snow skis to tiny cameras that we wear on our head or on a stick. Those tiny cameras capture our emotions. They capture us grimacing. They capture us smiling. And they capture us crying. We realize now that we can find 1 million different items in 1 million different places. And at times this is confounding when we go out and we look for information, and the process of looking for the information becomes distracting to the actual enjoyment and the enthusiasm we had when we started. You need a trusted navigator, or maybe I need a trusted navigator. But in the world of being bombarded by opinion and review and the resources that are available, it becomes confusing. And oftentimes I wonder where I can find that trusted navigator. So the question might be, with all this incredible change, with all this incredible progression in technology, has anything remained the same in small business? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, there are some things that remain the same. And I can tell you what they are. They're the people, the humans, the philosophy and the vision of relationships that remains true. And the enclaves of small business throughout the world, all over the world, including Helena. The dreams of providing a space and sharing a service of mutual enjoyment in exchange of valued goods that fill the eclectic rooms of tens of thousands of personable storefronts all over the world. And I happen to be just part of one here in Helena. Our business has progressed on many, many levels over the years, but our philosophy, and my philosophy of management continues to focus on relationships of the community of individuals. As we consider small business and the fundamentals that encompass our daily reality, we might ask ourselves a few questions. Who are these individuals? Who are these individuals that fill our spaces every day? What is the interesting developing relationships within our community? How do we decide who they are? These individuals probably don't all look the same, and they probably don't have the same experiences, dreams, and goals. But the important thing to remember is these individuals are coming from your community. You've brought them into another community. And the primary canons of our business are essentially identifying relationships with employees who represent the business every day. Tenets like integrity, hard work, accountability. These things that sound familiar? I bet they are. I bet they are. Come to work each day and provide only your best effort in serving a community that supports you. And do so with pride, integrity, and the humility that small business is a partnership, right? And partnerships are the fundamentals that will maintain stability for the future. Accountability, stewardship, principles that will guarantee positive and productive outcomes with customers in challenging situations. We share with our community employees the importance of developing a relationship with a customer that will inspire goodwill with you through good service to them. I often ask myself, are we investing in our employees? Do they understand the philosophy that we're trying to impart in our small business every day? Do we understand their capabilities, their talents, their perspective and experiences? This is important because they have different perspectives, different lives, different philosophies outside of the work environment. Do we understand each employee's capability and how their perspective and talents will contribute to the success and profitability of the company? Oh, profitability. Did I just say that? Another business term. Yes. A brief foray back to the nuts and bolts of the marketplace, margins, and the bottom line. Of course, continuing to grow and maintain a profit will enable you to continue to invest in not only your community of employees, but the community that you live in. And that's why it's a partnership, and that's why it's important. As companies grow with success, investment in their employees is essential. It's a very important component. So what are the strategies that we can employ to invest in our employees? How do we help them? How do we help them understand our communities? Can we train them? Can we mentor them? Give them more responsibilities? Can we integrate them into our family, our community? Is there opportunity that we can provide them so that they can remain with us and continue to grow our sustainable business? Can we acknowledge that they have lives outside of the work environment? Can we provide them time to enjoy that? Do we acknowledge accomplishments? Do we help them define what those accomplishments are and find parameters and find ways to acknowledge success? And most importantly, are we providing leadership? Are we leading from the front? It's a very important thing. With a diverse collection of humans and employees that join us in our business places, it's important that we can help them in developing our community and supporting our community by providing leadership. We share time, we share experience, we share our families, we share our passions. We encourage positivity, creativity, and interdependent thinking with our common goals of service in mind. The best interest of our community and our businesses is our customers. It's you. We lead from the front, and we continue to find opportunity to exemplify our collective goals as a business. And of course, we must look to the future. There's our future. What is our legacy? What is our path we are forging in the future? It starts and continues with these connections and relationships within our business and how our connections and relationships extend to our community outside our business. Sustainable bonds with employees and our communities will ensure that honesty and commitment necessary to forge ahead in an ever challenging business climate will allow us to be sustainable. A tribe of individuals who share a common philosophy and an appreciation for closeness and the unearned value and benefit of conversation and trust. These will persevere. We will continue to find many ways that we will be able to appreciate and connect with each other in the enduring hope that we will grow and expand the horizons of our own realities. Interesting to think about. And with this growth, we hope that the horizons will be experienced and enjoyed by future generations, our generations in our community. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.